Hello, my name's Derek, and today I'm going to be teaching you about the Spline Tool and creating text inside SolidFace. So let's get right to it. So as you can see, I'm in my part window, which I usually am, and I'm ready to create a sketch. So I'm going to go ahead, travel over here, and I'm just going to click on XY front plane, and that will automatically activate my sketch on the front plane. I'm going to go to my view and select the front view to center everything up. That looks pretty good. So a spline. A spline is basically a curved line defined by points along that line. So it's normally used in mathematics and engineering, and I personally don't deal with splines a lot, or at least creating them, but I do know how to plot them. And usually what will happen is you'll get a spline, and then you'll get a curved line that's not tangent or a solid arc or anything like that. They'll have a series of points along the line, and that the spline crosses through. So we'll go over how to basically put that in the SolidFace. So I'm going to select the Spline tool like that. So as you can see in the top here, it says point, position, X coordinate, Y coordinate, and then control equal closed, enter equal finish, space equal info. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and put in a series of coordinates, XY coordinates. And they'll go something like this. We'll put 0, 0, no spaces, and I'll hit enter. And then I'll drop a point at my origin. And I'll put in something like, say, 1 point, 0.5, 1 point, 0.5. And you can see that now that point appeared in space at those coordinates. I'll do a couple more. 1 point, 1.5. Then I'll put a 2 point, 3.5. 1 point, 2.5. So as you can see, there's certain geometries that make a spline impossible. So you need to be aware of that when you're doing it. If you basically create something that's impossible, the spline tool will disappear. And it won't reappear until you move back into something that's possible. So I'm going to put 0.5, 1 point, enter. There we go. See, as I go back towards these very tight angles, spline tool disappears. All right, now I'm going to put negative 1 point, 1.5. Oh, sorry. Negative 1 point, 1.5. Right. Then it'll also lock on to itself to create a closed loop. Alright, so I got one more thing that I want to put, and it'll put that negative 2 point, 0.5, and we'll close it like that. So I can either click, drag my cursor to the origin and click when it's locked on like that, or I can hit Control to automatically close the spline for me. And that is how you create a spline. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and come over here to my left. This is kind of like a feature manager, if you will. It'll show you all the different points that you picked and the things that go into spline 1. So I'm going to delete that, or delete all commands. There, and I'll hit yes, and I'll clear out everything that I've done now. So now I'll move on to creating text. So first thing I want to do, and this is just more for demonstration's sake than anything, is I'm going to create a square right there. Alright, now I'm going to create text. So as you can see, you have different types of fonts. Any font you can really think of or you would really need. Arial being common. I know of Times New Roman, obviously, is a big one, as well as Calibri. You can scroll down through here, pick whatever text you want. Just one of the things people like to use text for a lot is to laser engrave, or to 3D print, or to mill, or something like that. The only thing that you gotta be aware of is that some fonts may be very hard to create the fine details on them for stuff like that. So I like stencil. Stencil's always fun. I'm going to have it. You can select standard text, you input it there. Table, as in text from a table. Question, answer, and then mirror, which I'm going to go ahead and stick with standard text. You can also underline it and put it in italics. You can have it come off at an angle, or you can scale it. Now, I'm not going to really mess with anything of those right now. I tend to use text if I emboss it onto a 3D printed part. You know, kind of like hey, you know, this is a 3D printed part by whoever, or this is what this 3D printed part is. So I'm going to go ahead and put my name in here. I'll hit Derek. As you can see, it creates that text. I can go back in F5 properties, and I can create it bigger or whatever. So say we'll put 1.5, and I'll hit enter. You can see it's 1.5 times bigger. It's huge, right? Well, if I do something like, instead of scale, what if I just do 1? That's a lot better. You know what? I'll bump it down even more. I'll put 0.75. Oh, that's pretty nice. Now let's drop down the origin right there. Alright, now I'll hit cancel. So there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish out my sketch. Alright. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and extrude this profile, my rectangle, and I'm going to extrude it a distance of 1 inch. Cool. Alright, so now if you want to emboss this text on something, you go back to the extrude tool, but there you don't select cut or boss. You come over here and you select text in order to identify the text that you want to use. So I selected that. Alright, I'll do a boss, and I'll do it 0.125, so 1/8 of an inch, and I will actually, if I can rotate here, I'll grab that arrow and I'll drag it over there to change the direction. So as you can see, my computer's slowing down, and that's because text is one of those things that is very resource heavy to model. So I'll hit that green check right there, and you can see I have my name in the font that I chose stenciled onto the front of my part. So that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our videos if you want to stay informed and stay in the know. Thank you.